All right, so just a quick overview of the kind of core features within the platform. So as you know, we really started out as a content creation tool. That's very much our background. And so sort of the first main part of the platform is sort of course creation. So we can create lessons in the platform. We've changed it to learning objects, which was our original terminology. And we've just basically made it easy to understand by calling these lessons. So they're sort of smaller micro learning experiences. Then you can put them into courses. So those courses can consist of multiple lessons, videos, resources. Then we have our area of branding, so you can brand your lessons and also the platform. And then we have our academy. So our academy is the part of the platform we launched about 12 months ago, and that is an easy distribution, tracking and reporting platform. And you can choose which parts of the platform you use. We have a lot of customers just using the creation part of the platform and distributing content into other learning management systems. We have others who are using the academy as a simple way to, distribute and track learning all from one spot. So let's start off with course creation. So first of all, let's create a lesson. So I think if you haven't, Rob, you probably haven't been in the platform for a while, and Lisa haven't used the platform much before. Let me just take you through the kind of core ways you can create learning. So we've got a new feature called Create with AI, where you can ingest your source content, your PDFs, Word documents, and create a lesson from your source content. We've got a lesson library, so we've got about 45 courses that you can use as a starting point to create content. We've got a suite of lesson templates, so those are more kind of learning flows around skills that you can use as a base point. They're not so much the content, they're more about the outcome of a skill, and then you can start from scratch. So I might start at the top here. Have either of you had a go at using the AI as yet? This can be switched on or off. Have you used it at all yet?
I haven't
Not
used the AI function, no.
Awesome.
No, neither have I, Lisa. A quick
Okay.
question with regards to the AI.
Yeah.
Is that only internal to the HowToo platform, or will the AI, or is the AI capable of reaching out and grabbing additional data from the internet?
So what it's using the OpenAI large language model, but it's not sharing your content with that model. So, and you might want to go into this a bit more, Jazz, in terms of the way in which this works. But so the content that you're uploading will not be shared in that model with other users of that model, but it is sourcing the large language model from OpenAI. Do you want to add any more to that, Jazz?
Yeah, so if you're familiar with how OpenAI has trained that model, it is using data from the internet. What we then do is send the document that you upload to that AI and say primarily use this document and these rules of learning design that we've given you to formulate a response to different block scenarios that we need it to do. In terms of how it creates a sentence, though, it's learnt that from a whole bunch of internet sources.
Yeah.
But yeah. They've got pretty good protocols and security guidelines now, OpenAI being that business integrations are one of their big drivers for growth. So we've been able to set a whole bunch of security policies within those APIs to say, do not store my data, do not use my data to train your systems, etc. So we're pretty confident in terms of the privacy around using OpenAI going forward. We continue to monitor it just in case tech does evolve and change. So yeah, does that help?
Absolutely. Thanks, Jasmine.
So just quickly to show you this feature. So the first step in the process is that you can upload a source document, and you can either load that from your media library or from your computer. So I'm just going to load, you know, some content from the media library. So I'm just going to add PDF, which is how to detect a phishing email. So I'm just going to use that media now. And then what the platform does is then asks us what kind of learning experience we want to create. So this is where we've, you know, integrated all our kind of understanding of learning design. So a narrative-based model is where there's a story that the AI will create and feed that through the learning experience. So you meet some characters and that story carries through the interactivity and the content in the learning experience. So if you'd like to make it more story-based, you can use the narrative model. The scenario model is more screen-based scenarios, so that's where you might have a number of different situations and scenarios that the AI creates from your content, and that's integrated into learning. Or the traditional, which is more, you know, traditional screen-based interactivity around the content itself. So I'm just going to go traditional for this one. And then you can come in and you can enter your learning outcomes. If you don't enter your learning outcomes, it will still create them for you. So we've kind of built that in, and we have up to 5 learning outcomes that you enter here. So if this was on phishing, we might want to, you know, have an outcome that could be to recognize, you know, a scam, whatever. The audience.
Just to jump in there, one of the
Yeah.
reasons, just to give you some context behind why we've only allowed for 5 learning outcomes, because that can seem like a restriction, is that any more than 5 learning outcomes and the content is too big for us to ensure the quality of the output. So if you do have a large document that you want to convert into a course, we recommend breaking that document into a couple of pieces and then funneling that through to AI. So if you send 20, 40 pages of content, you're probably not going to get anything that we're super proud of, and that, you know, is high quality.
Yeah, very good. So you can give a bit of context. So if it was for our business, you know, set the agenda in terms of who this is designed for, and the content will be adjusted to that audience, what skill level they have in the topic, and you can set some sort of relevance to the content. So another example that we often use is you're running a code of conduct training and you've got your Christmas party coming up. You could put that in here and it would probably pick up that and add that to the scenario that the AI creates. And then you can choose the length of the lesson. So, you know, we, like Jazz says, we recommend, yeah, you don't sort of make it any more than 20 minutes. I think talking to Lisa, to your customer service training for on cyber, I think most of those are about 10 minutes long. So it will adjust to that, and then it starts generating the lesson. So that would take a couple of minutes, but if I just jump in here and have a look at another lesson that's been created using AI. So you can see the content that's been created using AI will have this graphic, so this kind of futuristic kind of graphic here that will sort of, you know, indicate that that's created in AI. I'll just see if it's still going. I'll come back to that in a minute. But I had some other ones
About
here.
on average a minute.
Yeah. So that'll be popped in there in a minute, which I can show you very soon. So this is what it's done. It's sort of created a bit of an intro and it's specified the learning outcome. It's given, it's added a question. The next release, which should be around in a minute, I think in the next few days, the question, we've played a bit with the heading, and then there's another screen with a bit more content in it. So yeah, it's done a pretty good job, but we constantly evolving this feature. And we'd love, just keep giving us your feedback as you use it, because it's a continual kind of process of improvement.
Okay. Cool.
So the next thing I wanted to show you was how you can create content using ready to go modules. So we've got about 45, 50 learning modules in HowToo, and you can use these as a starting point for creating content. These are designed, though, the usage of them is within the HowToo platform. So for distribution, it's within the Academy. But I'll just jump in and kind of use one of these courses. So the course is already created for you, and you can go in and tweak that content. Wow, that's a different brand, isn't it?
I like that too. Maybe serve my
Crazy.
white space.
Yeah, so this is already in, the content's already in here, so you can very easily tweak it to meet your needs. Again, our objective always is to try and make the process from I need some learning on this towards getting an outcome and creating a piece of content and getting it out to your learners. We want to make that the shortest period possible, but you're getting the best outcome you can. So what I wanted to show you was a new feature that you may not be aware of, which is branching. So this allows you to create, you know, different learning journeys for different audiences or different contexts through the use of branching. So in this module, just as an example, it's a conflicts of interest module. So say I wanted to create different pathways for different audiences in my organization, for example. So what I can do is basically choose branching. So I basically choose that block, and then I can go in and decide what that split might be. So I might say I want to have one branch for my, say,
designers
sorry?
learning
Yeah.
designers who've been more exposed
Yeah.
to gifts and bribery potentially.
Yeah. And then maybe my customer success team or something. Yeah.
Different scenarios for those audiences.
So then I can go in and browse from the media library, and I can come and find a learning designer. I don't know whether it's going to get me a learning designer, but that'll be interesting, won't it? Okay, interesting. I'll just choose that one. So I can pop the graphics in there as usual, and I'll just find someone in customer success. Pop that graphic there. Just, yeah, whatever. Just use that one. And so obviously add my headings and all those sorts of things. So then I go back to the storyboard, and then I can start adding blocks down each of those pathways. I wanted to share something else with you that's new as well. And I'm sure if you haven't noticed this yet, you're going to love it. I certainly do. You can also copy and paste blocks. So say I wanted to grab a bit of content from this content that's already here in around conflicts of interest. I can just copy those blocks, and there's a little pop-up down the bottom here that you can see.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I can copy them and then go in here and paste that content there into that pathway. And not only can I copy and paste within a lesson, I can copy and paste from another lesson as well. Yeah.
Excellent.
So that's a huge benefit for you now. So anything you want to add there, Jazz? Did I do okay?
That's perfect. I mean, copy and paste is pretty simple to understand.
Yeah.
I think one important thing to note is if you copy blocks over to another learning object, the brand that you have in learning object or lesson, we're calling them lessons, yeah. Lesson B, it's going to apply that branding automatically as well. So you don't have to rebrand your buttons on page. It'll just pick up the theme and you're ready to go. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So that's a really nice feature that you can use. I think that's been a bit of a game changer. The other thing I wanted to show you, a new feature that you may not be aware of, is in the results screen, you can also add some more settings for your assessment. So if you have a retry button, and you can set it so that your learners only retry the incorrect questions. Again, that's quite a significant feature that you'll find really useful. And you can decide what those settings are going to be for success and for fail. So that's a new feature you definitely want to jump in and use. Yeah. I also just wanted to make sure while we're here, and maybe just any more questions, just as we go.
No, I think that's really good, Lisa. Sorry, Lisa, the other Lisa.
You go.
So I'm going to have to step out, but thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob.
Will you make the recording available to Lisa and I?
Correct. Yep.
Excellent.
Will do.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Yeah, apologies, I can't stay. I've just got to pop into a work meeting. Thank you very much, guys. It looks really good.
Thank
some
you.
really good improvements there, Lisa. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's and there's probably a lot more but we'll share the video. All good.
Thank you.
So did you have a question, Lisa?
Yeah, I did, but it wasn't about something that you showed me. It was just something you went into, was the media library.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just wondering if there was any updates coming to that. Like it's amazing. There are so many things in it, but I find that I could lose myself in there for days trying to find the one image, and then because it always defaults back to the man with the skeleton, having to get all the way through to what you were looking for. And I just wasn't sure if there was an update to like maybe the metadata or the tagging or something so that you can find things.
There
A bit
is
more
tagging.
quickly.
There is
I love
tagging.
it. I feel like I've seen almost every image in there, but it always defaults back to the start, and I just wasn't sure if there was a way to make it a bit easier to find what you're looking for.
Yeah, one thing you can do is if you click the image, you can add tags. So basically, click an image in My Media. My Media has only got the tagging.
Yeah, cool.
You can add tags there. What we want to do, and we're just determining our roadmap and prioritization at the moment, so which is why getting your feedback in these sessions are really helpful.
Yeah.
What we want to do is set up some auto tagging.
Yeah.
So a lesson name, for example, would be an auto tag on every image. You could search what lesson it previously came from.
Yeah.
The other thing would potentially be, we've had requests, it'd be good to see how useful you think this is a shared media library and a personal media library, so you're not cluttered with other people's in your organization's content. You can find it if you'd like to. And then so essentially our goal is to just try and improve the search feature, and you can auto tag things to help you improve quickly you can find things. We can do folders, but again, our mission at HowToo is to make it really easy and quick to create training, so that management of folders and organizing that probably isn't going to be our approach. We're thinking about auto tagging.
Yeah, it was just a piece of feedback. One of the programs that I wrote was for kids, and it was around keeping your identity safe. We did it with and I had this beautiful photo that popped up of a boy in the library, and he was wearing a yellow shirt. And if I could not find him again for the life of me, I couldn't. But there were multiple photos of him, but they didn't appear sequentially, or even when I put the same tag in, I couldn't find the photo or his other images of that same person. I just couldn't find it. But I think I got it in the end, but it was quite difficult. Yeah, boy with yellow shirt, but he's not on there. Oh, there he is. No. So he's down the bottom. He's got coat hangers behind his head. Yeah, there's a couple of those, but whatever I was doing, I couldn't find all the photos that were of him to tell a story. And that's
Yeah.
just an example.
Yeah, that's really interesting feedback. And it's good to know you're using the free library of images, and that's what you want optimized, not what
Yeah.
images
Well,
you're
yeah, we sort of
uploading.
used a combo. We used some of ours because we needed images that were clearly of Australian schools.
Mhm.
But yeah, I loved that photo of the young man in there, and yeah, he was my bugbear for a couple of days trying to find him.
I wonder whether we could utilize more of the natural features or functionality of the Pexels library. I don't know, just
I'm sure
yeah,
there would be. And
yeah,
then as well, the exploration of AI will again in the coming years
yeah,
become better. So yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully that might be an option here as well as AI generated images going
yeah,
into the future.
yeah.
Yeah, that was my only comment because it all has to go to our brand before it goes out.
Yeah, yeah.
If they asked me for something, I just couldn't find it again.
And Lisa, have you been using the accessibility checker? Has that
Yeah.
been helpful? Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Use the accessibility
Awesome.
checker all the time. So that's
Yeah,
very good.
awesome.
Yeah, because it has to be accessible.
Yeah. Do you want to share your screen, Jazz, and show those tips and tricks?
Yeah, so the first part of designing training and making it look good is probably comes from themes. Now you'd already have a theme,
Yeah,
but you might be in it and go, I really want to change that button color. And it's important to know that all comes, is controlled by a theme, so you can quickly apply button color. You don't have to go, this page I want a different button color, this page I want a different button color. So we've got a range of, I'm pretty sure you guys are on Pro you get more control around colors.
Yeah.
You can jump in and on your blocks change, for example, this button color to a hot pink. Hot pink's probably not aligned with your branding, but and then publish.
I'd love it, but no, we're very, very clear about what our button colors can be.
It just really clearly shows you what changes on screen. You've got hover colors as well. So usually what we do is use a lot of transparency features just to pull that color back or pull the main color and offset it down a little. And now that looks pretty good. So that's probably the main thing. What we do also have coming out, which will allow you to customize colors a lot more as well, is in about 2 weeks, we have a new text editor, which is really exciting. So you'll be able to change colors, heading colors and things like that directly as well in the editor. Still won't be able to change button colors because we want that brand to be cohesive throughout the module. We don't want you to forget to change a button color somewhere. And I think that's definitely better managed by our themes. But yeah. The second is then when you're creating lessons. So you'll see, Lisa showed you this conflict of interest, which you said, looks really pretty. And I'll show you why. And some of the common things I see with users and what we do with our courses is, for example, you'll see these backgrounds and they have slight interest behind without distracting the learner from what's really important, which is the content. What we also do is you can make this transparent and then pretty much add, your own branding and color, and these elements will still apply. So jump in if you've got, a Canva tool or something, jump in, create a few squiggly lines, set the background as transparent, and you can create some really cool backgrounds pretty easily. And then just use this color feature and transparency to change it up a bit. So same with this, set it back down, and I'm going to add a bit of fun and flavor to it, and add some dark blue. This isn't actually a transparent one, but that's what we usually do. This one's got actually a white background. But yeah, the other thing is, we've got different styles. So you'll see this is a rounded kind of style to the graphics and everything. That again is in themes. You've got block style, so you can change it up a little bit and have a play around with that. So I'll go back in to my theme and I'll show you how to achieve, this pill styling. So we've got pill here, and you'll see everything's kind of changed to circular. You have a play around with different block styling. Also have a play around with different navigation. So I think you guys use full words to make it easier to understand. The other one is, a great feature is to have the save and exit button on for all your courses. Just with a lot of LMSs, we can't control them completely, but we can control that the learner data is saved and exited with this button a lot better than if they just close the browser window. So, and it makes it easier for the user or the learner to quickly close out. The other one is text boxes. We love text boxes because it means you can add a lot of flavor to the backgrounds. You can have one pink background and one yellow background, a dark background and a light background, and users will always be able to read the text on screen. You don't have to worry about the contrast and the color contrast of text color and background color, which again, if there's a lack of contrast, then you'll hit an accessibility issue. So if accessibility is a need for you, I would make text boxes compulsory. We'll add them to your themes. Because you can also control the text box color, so you can make this branded. Just look really nice. And then if you have, for example, dark branding, then we can just come in here and change our block text to white, so it displays really clearly. And now we're never going to have an accessibility color issue in our blocks, because we know white on this dark green meets accessibility guidelines, and we can do whatever we want with backgrounds, especially if you're using image backgrounds. Half the image is dark, there's light bits in the image. Text boxes really alleviate that accessibility issue. Cool.
If I do the AI one, I will have had, it's just going to pick up whatever theme we've already got put in there. So if I wanted to do something like this, just add a new theme, is that what you're saying? And then use that one for the AI.
Yeah, so you can set your theme as default. The default theme will be used whenever you create a new lesson, whenever you use the AI, it'll pull in your default theme. But what you can do in lessons, if you want to create something fun and funky, if you want to have a different design to your modules, or a suite of modules has a different design, then you just have to jump into your lesson
and then make the changes in it.
Go to settings and select a different theme. So you'll see this conflict of interest still has the theme we created for conflict of interest, which was this yellow. Show this dark green and our HowToo logo. But if I change that now to the theme I just created, we jump in, you're going to see, these green background boxes, this pink button, it's not beautiful, but it gets the message across, which is important. So I highly recommend just having a play around with it. If you have any questions, Jen's on support at HowToo to help you out as well. So in summary, utilize themes, create a bunch of themes, play around with it, use transparent backgrounds with just some lines to create a difference between your backgrounds without distracting the learner. Utilize the media library. It's really quick and easy to find people and graphics. This came from our media library, for example. Yeah, get in touch if you want to see anything improved, such as the media library, and that feedback's really beneficial to us.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Appreciate
That's right.
it.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
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 Bye.